Hey everyone, this is DB. I'm gonna try to talk about this video a little bit, showing some things that I think worth noting of what happened during this game. So we're setting up on this village, setting up to attack the flag, and this chopper just comes in, landing to supply a fob here, and we engage. OG tries to hit the tail rotor because those things are big tanks, and misses, but we engage finally and kill it. So one cool thing about this position right here, I'm gonna pause it, is that the team is actually set up two habs on the other sides. One is overrun apparently, but the other one on the south is still alive. We're coming from a different direction of the flag, so which is always helpful. We did kill a hab through that path of those trees. We found a hab with just one guy defending it. We killed him and destroyed that hab, so that helped the team. I didn't show on that video because it was nothing happened really. So we're moving in on the flag itself with our full squad here. So here I'm giving directions for the squad to cover while the rest crosses in case the enemy is looking this direction. Because we did kill that hab and killed their chopper there, so maybe they got reports, but apparently the enemy team didn't report our position. We move in, covering each other. Start clearing the village. We start capping the flag with a lot of chevrons. I think it was like full chevrons because the entire team was there. The enemy was probably distracted by the other guys. You can see the sniper was oblivious to our position here on the roof. Take care of that. So he didn't know we were there. We see other people apparently. Bear here says he's crossing in front of the friendly, so to not shoot, so that's a good communication. Kevin reports enemies coming from this direction. Clear communication, like enemies coming from the east by that two-story house. It's a very good report, clear, everybody understands it. Direction, position, like a two-story house is very different from the other houses, so it's very clear where it is. The machine gunner starts to shoot those windows. We start hearing shots coming from behind that fence, and I start suppressing even though I don't see them. The suppression works now, the play test. Indeed, there was enemies there. They move inside the house, and something interesting happens here. The guy sees James and engages him before or at the same time. And then James gets suppressed, and the aim punch, his weapon sways a lot, so he starts shooting all over that window. But he's not worried. He's like, he wants to put as many bullets as possible towards the enemy. Seagull is also suppressing the window. So the enemy is really suppressed, can barely engage us. OG is throwing grenades over the fence. I'm just suppressing the fence. Still looking from that west flank or the left flank, the east flank, because there was contacts of enemies coming from that direction. And Seal gets sniped here. You can hear the bullets zipping by his head closer and closer and closer, and then somebody else probably shot him from the other side and sniped him. We think it's from this direction, so me and Silly are already looking that direction. Kevin does see enemies coming from this direction. I don't think he hits them. So I come in and asking him if, like, you really see people here? But he turns around for some reason and leaves his position. I'm coming over here, lean around the corner. I'm doing everything right in my mind, but I immediately get sniped. Very unlucky. Maybe if Kevin was covering that corner, he would be... the guy probably maybe got suppressed. James, I'm already telling the squad the enemy's coming in the direction. I put a move command. So James already relocating. Bob's already working on Seagull. Medic is always aware of the squad that needs to be revived. OG takes over the window, sees the enemy come in the same position, starts engaging. I think he hits him, but doesn't kill. James is very interesting. He was just sprinting. You can see by his stamina bar at the bottom there. He was just sprinting. That's why his scope was a little weird. Like his weapon wasn't completely centered. Hard to control. It's the whole point of the changes is like you need to be aware of your stamina. If you're tired, you're going to be more swayy. So Kevin revives me because he's a medic as well and heals me. So I'm already in the window here. It's OG and another guy. engaging those guys. So this is where Seagull just sees a BMD or some kind of vehicle. Maybe he thinks he's a big guy with a big cannon, and he just said BMD is here, and that was not a good report. You can tell that the entire squad turns around immediately to react to it. Like I starts already running towards it to give a good report, but we don't know the direction of the enemy exactly. So this is where a good report is very effective. The direction of the enemy, south, southeast, south, southeast, you know, the big cardinal directions are very useful.
It's just south.
And indeed, that vehicle came in and dropped a bunch of troops, apparently. We start engaging those guys, grenades, friendlies already helping around there. I don't know where the enemy is exactly, so I'm just suppressing towards them. Maybe somebody else can see better. This is a friendly fire incident, very unlucky.
I'm friendly! What are you doing? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Just happens in the game. Other friendlies come in with AT guns to engage that APC. And they do get engaged. Another cool thing is that OG and Kevin on this east flank here saw all those friendlies move the direction. So like, no, we're gonna keep covering this position because we know enemies are coming from this direction. So they're worried about this position, but the enemy apparently is smoking that push. 2 ATs engaged that vehicle. So the team was on point to engage with AT, the little APC guy. I'm just here waiting for enemies to show up. And indeed, they do. So I start engaging. You can see Bear on the roof over there. Then Seagull also sets up and starts suppressing, even though it doesn't need to scope. But more enemies start shooting and suppressing him back. You can see the suppression working. It's very effective to deny the enemy. So this is where Kevin and OG, I guess, got smoked and they got more reports of enemies this position. So they moved to this opening and left their defensive positions by those windows in exactly the time the enemy showed up. One on a window, one on the door. Kevin does team kill OG. Very unfortunate. And he gets killed. T-Bob was also covering but get killed. At this point we have like 3 or 4 guys down. I think Sealy eventually cleared that position. Seagull moves in but also gets killed. So we're very down. I see the tank. I hear the tank and saw him. So I'm reporting and doing a squad leader thing of reporting the tank for the team. To whoever needs it. At this point, it was a little bit forward in time. T-Bob was up, other blue friendlies helped clear. So we already start reviving. The enemy's still pushing this direction, so I'm suppressing, but then of course you can see the suppression of the enemy. They see somebody shooting from this direction, they shoot back, and I immediately lose control, gets blurry, I'm suppressed by enemy fire, and your instinct is to get in cover. But I'm also trying to shoot towards them as well so they don't get accurate fire on me. The whole point of suppression is pretty good. I'm out of field dressings, I'm reloading. I'm hurt, but then here's T-Bob with the scope, seeing a little bit better than me. And I think I bleed out. Maybe I did get shot. Yeah, maybe I did get shot. At this point, there's only 2 people alive, T-Bob and Seagull here. And the enemy starts rushing our position. That was a very strong push with the enemy by those APCs, but also probably respawns as well. Those explosions really like suppress. Explosions suppress a lot as well. You get blurry and stuff. It's very effective. And then they push the 2 remaining guys. This guy doesn't shoot Seagull, shoots T-Bob at the back there. It's pretty funny. He can't revive. He can't revive for some reason and he gets killed. So this is where entire squad got wiped. This is the first time we got wiped in this round. We already had attacked another flag to the north and everything, but it was the first wipe. We decide, you can tell, but on the south fob there was no ammo. So we decided to spawn on the rally to push again from that direction. And I call Spriggan to bring the helicopter to rearm the squad. And I decided just to get the ammo, not the habs, because I'm gonna move out of this position, not be able to defend the hab, and I'm afraid we're just gonna lose the hab. So I just made a decision to attack again from the rally point by rearming the entire squad here in the helicopter and not setting up a hab.
Hell yeah.
Pretty cool.
I think it's straight.
We push again. I'm afraid that the enemy knows we're coming again. You see the village is completely clear. They heard the chopper. They kind of know maybe that we're coming from this direction. So I'm worried again about covering while we move in. Maybe there's a guy on that building, you know, covering. But apparently they didn't. They moved east again, or yeah, south of the flag, southeast of the flag.
Yeah, that's their hab probably, right?
So we were talking about how we think where the enemy is coming from, the main push of where their spawn point is. We got to the same buildings again. The enemy slowly comes. And we start clearing again. The vehicle's still here. I'm reporting, putting move commands where the vehicle is. James immediately knows where it is, starts setting up the shot of the AT. But the vehicle is too fast. He doesn't feel confident to shoot over that wall.
We have anything for it?
I don't know if there's minimal range as well.
Oh, it's hard. It's very fast.
Sometimes these ATs have minimal range that you can engage without the weapon exploding. He tries to engage that guy long range and got shot back. He doesn't know if he hit him or not. At this point, we neutralize the flag again. So this is the third time or second time we clear the flag. And this guy died. We start getting shots from those buildings over there because the main attack came from that direction again. So we know kind of where the enemy is coming from. Friendly is also pushing from the other side. You can see all these are blue guys from other squads. So there's a lot of guys here. It's pretty cool. Working together, communicating. Right now, James. So this is a perfect report. BMP, northwest, 100 meters in the middle of the field. That's all you need as a report. You know, don't say over here, over there. Is a vehicle close? Like the type of vehicle, where it is, direction is very effective to communication in the radio. This just comes with the experience of like how to say those things.
EMD coming northwest on the field. EMD northwest on the field.
So right now, I'm just talking to people around me. If this guy was a blue guy from another squad and he had an AT, I say that in local, and he immediately takes out his AT and is ready to engage that BMP as well, BND, whatever. Seagull's just set up on the window because he knows the enemy's coming from this direction. I start shooting towards cracks on the wall where enemies were running over there. Now you can see them, the vehicles over there. We were worried about the vehicle just exploding these windows or this building. So Seagull came out of the window because he's afraid of the vehicle. So he's not mounted on the window. He sees the enemy, and when he engages, because his sway is very, his stability is very low, his weapon's gonna go a little bit too much recoil. But he can distract the enemy and not get shot back by that suppression. I get revived. And I'm worried about this flank over here on the east. I did see a guy on that hilltop before or after this. I don't know. I didn't put it on the video, but there were people coming this direction, so I'm worried about this opening on the fence right here. So I'm slowly swinging, and I start shooting towards bushes and stuff where the enemy might be, just to suppress. Seagull's doing the same thing here with his machine gun. Explosions coming in, RPGs. So he sees there's a very smoky, so maybe this is time to set up on the window, so he does. And he's constantly suppressing, even though he doesn't know exactly where the enemy is. And I think this suppression saved him, because that RPG was probably shaking like crazy, and he missed the window. I'm throwing grenades. We're kind of where the enemy is coming from. And indeed, the enemy is coming right there in the window. That guy runs in. A lot of smoke, but eventually one grenade or whatever this was, RPG, takes out Seagull in the window.
You're hurting, by the way.
At this point, the squad starts realizing enemies are flanking from across the field, the tree line over there, towards our rally point area. And I realized also that there was a lot of people in that building where we were, me and Seagull. We can see on the next scene right here. Right here. There's all these blue guys from the other squads. There's a sniper here and everything. Oh, look at that. All those guys from a different squad. So Kevin mentions it, and I tell the squad to fall back and move to a different position to cover that other approach, the north side. Exactly. So right here, T-Bob and James starts engaging people across the field with their scopes. James having a little trouble hitting that guy. Probably because of the scopes, the Canadian scopes are 200 meters, and you have to be it's a little different than the other scopes. So I ask Bear to come over here and cover this road, because remember, this is the approach of the enemy coming from the right side of that bush. Seagull is still engaging a little bit forward still, but he moves out of the building at least. And this is very unlucky. James starts reloading his weapon right here where the enemy comes around the corner. You can see him reloading right here, and the enemy is already there. It's a very unlucky timing. Kevin rushes around the corner. His sprint is also pretty high, like his sway. You can see at the bottom there, the little 2 dots above his compass. And he gets suppressed by the enemy shooting right here. Close quarters with scopes are a bad idea. He can't aim straight, and he gets killed. Now compare the difference between that engagement and T-Bob right here. T-Bob sets up. You can see his sway at the bottom, zeroing in, very stable. So he's very stable. The enemy shows up, and he is able to clear it pretty quickly. Sid is right here behind this wall, helping covering the other side of the building right there. See the body of the enemy right there. So I'm like, okay, Seal is covering this side, I'm going to cover the other side. Well, T-Bob's reviving. But then I see Bear, he's set up on a position I asked him on the road. So I feel safe on both flanks. So maybe there's enemies in the house or behind the house, so I go to cover T-Bob. This is a little bit forward after, a few seconds later in editing. We got everybody up, and we are covering this field approach. And a sniper starts engaging us, or a marksman of some kind. We start trying to find him. He knows where we are. We don't know where he is. It's very scary, like in real life. So it's pretty interesting that happens. So I try to locate him with my binoculars, but people are still getting sniped. By sound, we know kind of where he is, so I try to locate him. But the Kevin tells me, no, he's in the middle of the field, so not on the tree line. He actually says that. So I'm looking at the field because he knows. I don't see. The funny thing is right here, I see that body right there at the top of the little mound. And I think maybe that's him. So I'm looking very closely to see if I can see any movement or something. And you can barely see him on the bush on the left. You can see him aiming right there. But I totally did not see him while playing. I see the tracer, so I think I kind of see him. He did shot at me. So I'm looking still. I see that guy getting killed. Maybe it was him, so I didn't know. And this is when I see a BMP arriving. Or BMD, or whatever it's called. But he got ambushed by friendlies over there. It was pretty cool. He was not worried about us. Seagull sees it. Muzzle flash. And right there you can see it. But we're still dealing with the damn guy. I get sniped eventually. It's pretty bad. So right now, we called area attack artillery on that force. That was the perfect artillery call. I didn't do it, somebody else did. And that's what we think the enemy was coming from. We don't know, I never saw the hab, but I think it's coming from that tree line. And that's a very good call. So the enemy is coming from there and from the tree line across the field as well, on the west. That's where we're engaging that sniper. You can see my squad is covering that main compound over there. You can see all the green dots. Squad 4 is on the other side, also everybody alive as well over there. So the team was really on point on capturing that flag, and we did eventually cap them. We neutralized the flag and captured after the artillery. Sigo is in position on rooftop, really seeing that compound where the enemy is pushing. Killed that guy. T-Bob is working on some revives, pulling guys out of... But he's still getting suppressed, you can see right here. Suppression works, really gets your camera shaking, it's pretty cool. So this is pretty fun, like Seagull just shoots that corner, just a little tap. I don't think he saw anybody there, he just shot, and then the guy moves in after that and gets into cover. And that's actually pretty good. Pinning them down on a position where their artillery is falling around them is pretty good. They don't get into cover. And there goes the artillery. Yeah, we're just looking for the sniper. I don't get shot. Maybe somebody else got it. And then we neutralize the flag. And a few seconds later, we won the game. It actually happened out of nowhere. I think we kept the flag and then we ended, and here we won. If we had put that hab on our rally point at other time, maybe the enemy that pushed with APCs that direction, maybe they would have killed the hab and could have lost the game. We didn't believe we won, and we're very proud of our KDR here, positive KDR. The only death we had was that one assault that we died. The massacre that I call it on the video, it's us dying. But we killed a lot of guys. We captured the flag twice, and it was pretty good. The team also helped a lot. It was pretty good. So that's it. Tell me what you think about this kind of commentary, trying to expose some of the elements of the game that we really appreciate. Things like the team working together, the squad communicating, aware of each one's position, covering other different directions where we only cover. The medic is on point, suppression, everything. We really like these changes, and we hope they get implemented pretty well.